2, 1. Welcome back. Good. Episode 2, Birdseye podcast. Thank you all for coming back. For those very curious and loyal listeners and viewers at home, treat for you. We got the engineering leader, the fearless engineering leader here at Perch, Greg White CTO. He's generous enough of his time with the limited schedule. So thank you for taking some time to chat with us. This is going to be fun.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. So for everyone who does not know you, give us a quick bio, not the full background of the illustrious career that you've had, but the quick bio of kind of where you've been recently and really what led you to joining Perch.
Sure. So I've been doing startups basically all of my career, starting right out of college. And I think actually even before college, I think I've been at 8 or 9 different startups over the course of my career. And they've all been different, but none of them have been anything like Perch, which is I think in a category all of its own, both in terms of growth and also in terms of just straight up success. It's been very remarkable. I joined Perch about 1 year and 4 months ago. 1 year, 4 months, and 5 days ago, to be specific. And it kind of ended up, it was sort of a long path to get here. I first heard about Perch sort of in early January and early January 2020. So right as COVID was starting to appear. And I had a friend of mine who kept saying, you need to talk to this guy, Chris Bell. And my previous startup had just blown up, and I had just picked up a large consulting contract, and I was like, nah, forget it, right? Not right now. But he kept after me, and finally I said, great, let me talk to this Chris Bell guy. And talked to Chris and thought, wow, this is just a smoking good idea. The timing was great. The actual idea was great. And I thought, and I really liked Chris, right? I thought Chris was awesome. So I had a couple more conversations with Chris and then decided to move forward and talk to the rest of the team. And really that's why I joined. I joined because I thought everyone that I talked to was fantastic. And it's more than 1 year later, I still think that's the case. And that really is the best part about Perch from my perspective, is that it's just a ton of really good people. Well, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I joined in, as I said, April 2020, and I think I was the fifth full-time employee.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, what would Perch look like when you joined? And I mean, the fast forward to today.
What Perch looked like when I joined, I remember Chris telling me, we will never have more than 30 people. And, we're going to keep it small and we're going to grow it in a very thoughtful way and keep everything nice and profitable. And the last two have been exactly true. We are growing it in a thoughtful way, I think, despite the fact that we're growing it at very high speed, and we are profitable, and we've kept that. So that's all awesome. What wasn't quite so true was staying at 30 people. And we kind of blew through that one pretty quick. But
it's 100. I think Brooke, our new tech recruiter, was just telling me she was employee number 138. So I think we're somewhere in that vicinity right now.
I don't even, I sort of hear the numbers every week when we sort of look at how many people we have in Okta or Google Apps or whatever, and it always just blows me away. It's crazy.
I think 130 might be a little low even.
I think it's a lot
pushing higher than that, more 200 range.
Yeah, that's for real. I really do think it's at least 180.
Bicentennial.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not going to check that, Brett. All right.
Did I use that correctly?
I probably not, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yep.
Editing is fun. It's all right.
We'll hit that up later.
Keep that one in there.
Leave it in. Shower me with your judgment.
All right. Let me. This is Brett's favorite question. So this is the hook in the podcast, and really the thing that we're here for is to learn a little bit about what you suck at. So Greg, I know this morning we were kind of prepping Greg on this, and he asked if it was okay to do more than one thing. So I'm wondering if you brought more than one thing, or if we're focused on.
You guys are hitting them all. So the first one is I absolutely suck at making sound work in Linux, and you made me do that for this. So there you go. Actually, normally I can get it to work, but it's not fun. And, really what I suck at is public speaking. So you guys are like hitting on all the bases here.
We didn't know that coming into this.
Yeah,
no,
you're
you did not know
welcome.
that going into this, but of course I've been worried about it all day. So this has been lots of fun. No, seriously, it is not my favorite thing to do. And, but I'm glad to be doing it with you guys.
Okay. So that's a great segue. And what do you do over the course of your career, especially in the positions you've been in? I'm sure you've had to do your fair share of that. What has been the playbook or the thing that you've been able to kind of focus on to get over that?
So it's interesting because we were having this discussion with my son, who just recently, and in a lot of ways he's a lot like me, and he doesn't like public speaking. Even he likes it even less than I do. Let's put it that way. And there are a few things. I mean, generally speaking, you just suck it up, buttercup. You got to do it, so you go do it, right? You get rolling, and everything's generally okay. I go with that. But in all seriousness, the best advice that I personally have ever seen was from Schitt's Creek. And there is an episode in Schitt's Creek where, you guys watch Schitt's Creek?
Huge fan.
Okay.
Huge
so when
fan.
Alexis is driving David to his driver's test, you remember that? And she says, seriously, David, you need to, my son's name was David too, so this really resonated. She says, seriously, David, you need to chill out because nobody cares. Right? Like nobody really cares. And like you are blowing this, and it's not like nobody cares, but what you're doing is you're so inside your own head that you're focusing on how this is to you. And it's totally different from everyone else. And they actually really don't necessarily care as much as you do. And I found that to be immensely helpful. Whether it's useful for my son, I sort of doubt, but hopefully.
with time and
with time.
Yeah.
He'll get there.
Yeah. I think I got similar when I was younger, similar advice from my father of saying there was issues where I'd be freaking out about something. You'd be like, honestly, or like you're not, it's not that important, and you're not that important in the grand scheme of things. So it's like, just relax.
It's a little bit of just get over yourself.
Yeah.
Is not a bad way. And
a nice way, nicely put way to say that.
Yeah. The other thing is it's useful. What I find hardest is to transition back and forth between sort of public speaking or being, being out there versus, writing code or being in there. It's much better if you just sort of do it all the time. So like I started my career and spent years and years selling stereos back when people actually bought stereos in stores. But I mean, it's like a totally like out thing. You're out there. You have to be outgoing. You have to be, completely on point, and it's 100% of the time. And that was no problem as long as that was all I was doing. But if you do that and then you go and do something, like inward focused for a while, then transitioning back is incredibly painful, and vice versa. So, part of it is just keep doing it, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. There was this clock that I forgot. I don't know the guy's name. Is a gentleman that my father-in-law introduced me to as a neighbor up in New Hampshire, and really dynamic guy. His son actually played for the Red Sox, and he was sort of he was on his last legs when I met him. A heck of a personality, but he had this clock he used to keep on the wall at his house, and it had no times on it. It just had the hands that would go around, and it said in one spot on the clock, "Who gives a shit?" And for some reason I've never forgotten that particular image. But I had somebody else further along in life sort of use that mantra. My father-in-law says it to me all the time. He's been pretty successful. But that tends to help me calm things down when I'm too much in my own head as well. Cool.
Yeah. Get out of your head. Yeah. Don't be as focused on yourself and focused on, sort of external things. And it's all pretty easy.
All right. I like it. That's good. Brett, we're not even going to be late.
Yeah.
It's perfect. All right.
Yeah. All right. So in Caroline, you want the closer?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, hey, this is not going to be a sales pitch, but we've got
famous last words.
We've got at least two people pretty much all of us here who are on the hook for growing this tech team here. So
I think that's all of us,
yeah, I mean,
myself included.
to be a little selfish here, Greg, give us a sales pitch on why should tech folks come here? That's exciting.
I think Perch is a really fun place to or is a really fun place to come and write code, to come and be an engineer. I think as a broader company, there's a lot of engineering focus, but also within engineering, I think you've got a lot of folks who have a lot of experience doing this, have are very good at doing this, and are having a lot of fun doing it. And our goal here is to build an engineering organization that lets you do good engineering, right? So there's a lot of focus on making sure that you are in fact able to be a successful engineer and not just come here and sit in meetings all day. And where we really are focused on that. And I think it shows. So, and there's just a lot of cool stuff to do, and that's always true. But it doesn't matter how much cool stuff there is to do if you don't get to actually do it. So we're sort of focused on both of those. But there is just a ton of fun stuff and a lot of growth, and a great place to come and build your career and learn from folks who've done it before and want to do it right. How's that?
That was good.
Yeah, I've got nothing else.
You left Caroline speechless. Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
Okay. So having the long-standing career within startups predominantly, like a differentiator right here, kind of, or maybe even simply put, like the learned experiences that you carried with you into kind of here in building this organization, on top of the solid engineering culture that you just kind of mentioned, right? There's some of the kind of the other quick hit cognizant things that you're thinking of while growing the team.
I mean, look, we're really focused on growing the team quickly, but also growing a team that works. So there's been a lot of focus over the last, as we start to really build the team quickly, there's been a lot of focus on bringing in the right engineering leads and building the right culture. So for the last few months, one of the things that I've been really focused on is sort of building that base so that we're ready to build upon it. And then, as you guys have joined, which has been what, 2.5 months now, 2 months, depending on which of you we're talking about. We've really focused first on building out the team leads and getting really solid team leads in place. And we've pulled from a bunch of people's networks. So we know we're getting good folks. We've hired a lot of really great folks. And now the next step here is to start to fill in around those super experienced folks. And I think that's the right way to go about it. The next phase will, I think, be really interesting. First we hire the leads, then we'll hire the people to help the leads, and then we'll hire another round of leads. And we're going to have to be very careful as we do that second round, as careful as we were in the first round. But I think we have the right base in place, and that should work pretty well. It should be a lot of fun. It really should. But it's going to be interesting.
I like that you answered that, though. Like, you started talking about culture and then immediately, brought in the people and the leads. And I was listening to something the other day, and somebody asked a question of like, how do you maintain culture when people are remote? I mean, pretty much almost the entirety of Perch's history has been during the pandemic, and we've been remote. And like the fact that you talked about the people, I mean, the people is the culture. And so we've kind of been in this cool spot where we're, building that from the ground up solely based on, like who is Perch, who are the people within the engineering team, within the tech team that we're building, and kind of centering around that and building it from the ground up, which has been kind of neat.
Yeah, that it is really neat. And it's been challenging doing all of this through COVID. It really has been, but I think it's worked out really well. And it's also given us, I think, a different perspective that'll be useful as we sort of, move back towards more of a hybrid office. We can do this remote. We will do this largely remote, even as we move back into the office. But, I think if we get the right people in place and let them do their thing, we should be absolutely fine. And that really has been my focus. Get the right people and give them space to do their thing. And that second bit is sort of where I'm increasingly focused, making sure everyone has space to do their thing. And that's simultaneously somewhat easy because I know exactly what I want to do, and somewhat difficult because one of the things that I need to do is extract myself from the entire process in a lot of ways. I just, can't get in review code anymore. That's not my business now. So that for me is a bit of a transition, but it's the right thing to do. So that's what's happening.
Right on time.
Right on time. Amazing.
Perfect.
Good work.
Never happens.
Well, this is great. I mean, talking about a lot of things, but also getting over a fear or talking about a fear that's ongoing.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just getting better every day, Greg. That's it. Every day.
Anything for you guys. No worries.
All right.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Take us out, Justin.
Take us. I'm not the hype man. All right. This is going to be the end of the
You've got
episode
the cool mic. You should definitely be doing it.
Brett does too, and he went chintzy on the headphones. So
ooh, there we go. I didn't see it. Oh, look, Caroline's got one too. What is the deal here?
Yeah.
This was a Justin creation. This was a
little fancy.
Wow.
Yeah.
An excitement.
It's the little things. Yeah.
How come you don't give those out to guests on the podcast?
Yeah.
You know what? Come back again. We'll grow our audience a little bit. Maybe next time.
Yeah. And once we get we're gonna get the Perch brand sponsorship going, and when we have a budget, we will. Maybe we can revisit that.
Yeah, be part of the equipment stipend.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, okay.
Get working on that, Greg.
Thanks. Yeah, right on that.
Yeah, good talk. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks, Greg. This is
awesome.
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.